Hey everyone, PsyStarcraft here with another patch notes video. This is going to be for patch version 1.1. Just completely ignored that last leaked patch notes video I had. Tons of those were fake, although they were pretty cool. And this is the real one released by Blizzard, so let's get started. Going to start out with the only Protoss nerf we have. Blizzard was saying Zealots were a little bit too fast in the early game, and that Protoss had too good of a mineral dump when they just had tons of excess minerals. So they have increased the build time of the Zealot by 5 seconds, I believe. So on normal gateways, it will now be 38 seconds to train instead of 35. And on warp gates, it'll be 28 seconds instead of 38. So you're going to be warping them in. And of course, they take 5 seconds to warp, and then this cooldown will now be 28 seconds instead of 23. So there's that change. Next is Terran. Terran battlecruisers were actually nerfed. And as far as the Zealot change, I guess that's okay. I was never really bothered by it too much, but okay, whatever. Battlecruisers, their damage to ground used to be 10 damage per shot, is now 8 damage per shot. Personally, I don't see why this change was needed. I mean, if someone's able to tech the battlecruisers and get a couple of them out, good for them. Battlecruisers should be extremely strong, air to ground, and they're just so easily countered by air units that I don't know why this change happened. I mean, Zerg can just get a couple corruptors and then they're fine. TOS can have a problem with battlecruisers, I'll admit that, but then Terran can just get Vikings and they do fine against battlecruisers. So, okay, if they felt like they needed to nerf them, that's fine, I guess, as well. But yeah, they don't kill stuff nearly as fast now, but still pretty strong. Air to ground, I suppose. Next change, what are these SCVs for? What are these? Oh, right. Bunkers have increased the duration. There is increased time to build them. Instead of 30 seconds, it is now 35 seconds. It'll make easy bunker rushes a little less viable, so Zerg can handle them and Protoss can handle them. Even other Terran players can handle them. I think this is a good change, just because compared to the other defensive structures, bunkers built a lot faster. I think cannons are 45 or 50 seconds. Spine crawlers are 50 seconds. Bunkers used to be 30. Now they're 35. It's a little better. And another nerf bat for the Terran race is the Reaper. Reaper used to take 40 seconds to train. Now is taking 45 seconds to train. A lot of Zerg players were having problems with those mass Reaper builds. 3 racks Reaper, 5 racks Reapers. And I think it will still be a viable strategy. It's just going to take a little bit longer for Terran to get that critical amount that is really, really deadly against Zerg players. So, nice change right there. It's probably one of the most obviously needed changes, just because 5 racks was doing so well. Another Terran nerf here is the Terran Siege Tank. Everything looks the same, life is the same, armor is the same. Unsieged, they are exactly the same. But sieged up, they now have a similar property to what they had in Brood War. They now do 35 damage to all units, and then 50 damage to armored units. So this is going to mean a lot for Zerg, Terran, and Protoss alike. The smaller, lighter units are going to be much more effective, just like they were in Brood War. And I'll actually go over all the different damage thresholds and stuff like that in a different video, but much needed nerf to the siege tanks. Tanks are still so damn good. It's not going to change how they affect a lot of different units like Roaches, Ultralisks, other siege tanks, stuff like that, Marauders. So they're still going to be so good. Next is the Ultralisk. The Ultralisk got a minor nerf in that it now does 15 plus 20 to armored, so it'll do 15 damage to every unit and then 35 to armored units. A slight nerf doesn't really bother me that much, because once they get up to armored units, they're going to be tearing them apart anyway, even with that 5 damage nerf. But they also got something that you can consider a buff. So Ultralisks, against planetary fortresses, they used to do the headbutt. They will now use their cleave attack on all buildings, which is awesome. So let's say the enemy has a group of SCVs around an orbital command. You want to attack the orbital command. I'm going to right click it. And normally he would just do the headbutt. And sometimes he wouldn't even be able to get inside of those SCVs. But now, if the SCVs are repairing, you want to attack this orbital command. It's repairing. Look at this. Look at the cleave on this. This is ridiculous. Like, I think this is broken, to be honest. I'm attacking this structure and it's cleaving all the way back here. I think the reason it's doing that is because it's considering the structure to be attacked in this entire region. So everything beyond this region, like that much, is being attacked as well. So look at this cleave just one more time. You'd think it would just hit like these guys around here. It hits like everything. This is retarded. Like, this has to be broken. There's no way Blizzard intended it to be this way. They need to change the point of attack to just right here, and so it only cleaves the things around it. But instead, it's extending the point of attack to the entire planetary fortress, and it killed every single SCV. How stupid is that? Like, I'm happy because it's stupid, but there's no way that's how they intended it to work. So that's just kind of silly that he's attacking right here and killing SCVs all the way over here. But hey, if the Ultralisk can finally live up to its name, I'm fine with that. Oh, there's no... I just cannot imagine that they meant for that to happen. Next is, a lot of times when you guys would build buildings, or when anyone would build buildings, and like you try to run a Hellion past it as the SCV was trying to build, they do the whole like bouncing back and forth thing, like we want to go to where you told us to go, but we don't want to block the building. Well, they fixed that, so now if you have an SCV building and you try to move your Hellions through it, you can see they won't actually, you know, move out of the way automatically anymore. See, you can see the Hellions will just automatically run through, which is a good, much needed change. It's not going to affect the game that much, but it was so annoying when you got the times when like you're trying to build here and the Hellion will be like, oh, I want to go, but I don't want to block your building. Oh, I want to go, but I don't want to block your building. Yada yada. So that's kind of cool. And let's see, is this the final change I'm going to mention? No, it's not. But now when training Marines, reactors, as you can see, will now have priority over tech labs. So you can get the most out of your macroing here because it'll send the Marines to the tech lab first when you have both reactor and tech lab Marines selected. So that's pretty neat. I like that a lot. In campaign mode, you can now press Control Q to quick save your game. I thought that was a notable change. There's lots of bug fixes and stuff like that, but I'm only going to mention a couple of the more notable ones here. FPS, there is a way to view your frame rate. Yeah, you can tell I totally went through this before and found out how to do it. FPS. Oh, here we go. If you highlight the menu, you can see your frame rate. My frame rate is locked at 30. I don't know if that's good, but it seems pretty fine to me. Oh, it's locked at 30 because I'm recording. Maybe it'll be higher if I'm not recording. Next, the search functionality of custom games has improved. I actually checked it out and I didn't notice how they changed the functionality, but I saw lots more variety of maps, so I thought that was pretty cool. Another one is... Okay, this is going to be the most talked about change in the patch. Hands down, tons of debate will be surrounding this. I guarantee it. I believe it is in the gameplay section. Show game timer. Oh my god. Oh my... Where does that even come up? Show game timer. When enabled, the elapsed game time will be visible on the left side of the... Oh, here we go. Down here. This is absurd. People are going to be raging over this. People are going to QQ so much, or they will be happy about it. What this means is you don't need experience or supply count or, you know, other stuff to determine timings that you're doing. You can be like, oh, I need a lair. It's at like 6 minutes right now. I should have a lair. What time is it? Oh, I do have one. Good timing. Yeah, I'm good. You can just like write down builds and then look at the clock and be like, I'm going to do this right now. It's noobifying the game like crazy. It's making it so easy to just learn all the timings. Oh look, it's 6 minutes into the game. I'm gonna get 4-gated or some gay crap like that. So it helps people get better, I suppose. But now one of the strategies is gonna be like to mix up your timings. Well, a 4-gate would normally come at this time. Maybe I'll like wait 2 minutes to make them think it's not a 4-gate, stuff like that. But that's it for the patch changes. I guarantee you this clock is going to have a lot of flaming around it, but I'm definitely playing with it on, I know that. And the final change is on Desert Oasis, where they added destructible rocks. I was first expecting the rocks to be right here, blocking out the natural, so they'd have to come around this way. But the rocks are actually in between the second and third base, so you're going to automatically take the natural now as your first base. Sometimes you would take this base and this base first, not very often though. But now there are rocks, so you will most definitely be taking this, or be taking the high yields on either side, and you'll have to bust through the rocks to expand a third time to the safest location right here. And also you don't really have to worry about any attacks from this direction for a little while. This small choke is actually very nice for all players. It'll be much easier to defend. Maybe we'll see this map in a lot more tournaments. Also, they narrowed the area around this Xel'Naga watchtower. So you can see they kind of chopped up some cliffs around here. It's not as wide, it's much more narrow, which I think is kind of cool. You know, they're actually paying attention to the small things of maps, and it won't be just like some huge battlefield, which was actually kind of cool for Zerg. But those are the changes for Desert Oasis. So I hope you guys enjoyed these patch notes, and I will go over the siege tanks in a future video. So thanks for watching.